Hi, everybody. I'm here with Alexandra Gyetvai, and we're going to be talking about recruiter enablement. So, Alexandra, welcome, and give us a quick introduction to you.
Thanks for having me, Adam. Well, that's always the hardest part, so the introduction. Maybe I am the oldest, youngest in this industry, which means that I came from a different area. So I worked for engineering and research and development companies for more than 10 years. And I really enjoyed that part of fast-paced and less structured environment. So it means that I was responsible for building up teams from scratch. I was involved in product development and project management. And that kind of fast-paced environment, of course, led me to the world of startups. So this is why I found it really interesting, your initiation. And then I started to work for several different industries, which means that I gained experience in healthcare, digital education, software development. So that was my main ambition, to learn a lot, to get insights into the high level management of different companies. And once during one of my assignments, I got involved in talent acquisition for a tech company with a huge growth ambition at different continents. And to be honest, it was love from the first. So it means that I realized the strategic value of sourcing. And for me, it was really great to see what can add the sourcing to different businesses. So this is why I started to dig deeper and deeper. And then that love deepened, and I became a consultant and aspiring trainer at the Source Code agency. So now I am really focusing on sourcing training for sourcers and recruiters, of course. And this is almost the most exciting part of my whole career. So it means that this is the first opportunity to combine my market knowledge with my passion for sourcing. And as an extremely philanthropic person, I found it really interesting to find ways to how to get others ahead on a path and how to share knowledge, connect great people for great causes. So now this is my best place to be here. So this is my story in a nutshell.
Yes, great. Wonderful story. So, you mentioned that you started in other industries, and I'm wondering, I didn't brief you that I was going to ask you this question, but um, like background in like engineering, I think there's a lot of parallels between the way that we go about doing talent acquisition and what we should be doing, using inspiration from engineering. Am I right?
Yes, that's completely true. So to be honest, I have seen it several times. The same patterns are the same in different industries. So it means, and it is not just true for the talent acquisition, but other areas. So for example, for me, the stakeholder management is really important. So I always try to invest as much time as I can into stakeholder management to have a great project at the end. And I realize that I can use my knowledge from tech, from business development, from project management, in talent acquisition as well. And yes, so I completely agree with it. So it means that these are almost the same patterns, and we can learn a lot from each other, and especially from business development.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, I make the comparison with sales and marketing very regularly, but there's big comparisons with engineering. So let's talk about recruiter enablement specifically. So what's recruiter enablement to you?
So I've checked almost all of the interviews so far. So I try to prepare, and they have given us a quite comprehensive overview of what it takes to equip a recruiter team with the proper tools, proper knowledge. And now I would like to look beyond that. So for me, the first question in recruiter enablement is why we do what we do. So that kind of strategic level. So what is the business goal? Why are we doing this? What we expect from the recruiter team? How is the talent acquisition strategy? So for me, it is just like well, I'm after lunch, so it is just like a cake. So there is the operational level and there is the strategic level.
Yeah.
And for me, the connecting layer is the recruiter enablement, because otherwise, so it means that if you do not have the right direction, if you do not have your goals, then of course you can introduce any tools, you can buy all of the trainings, but you spend a lot of money and won't have any results. So just a short example, which I have seen for several times in the last years, that somebody just said that let's innovate. And okay, let's replace our Excel sheets with an applicant record system. And the worst scenario was when just a supplier just came along and said that I have one tool for you. It was the best choice for all of my clients, and it will be the best for you as well. And for me, it is a really interesting situation. I think that almost all of us was in the same situation, that nobody asked the why. So why are we doing this? Why we need this? Because just let's talk about in-house recruitment or about a startup. So it is really important to know the direction. So what is the goal? Huge growth or great growth, talent acquisition in a new form. So for example, do you need specified or niche knowledge for your startup team, or diversity has become part of the talent strategy or employer branding? So you have to know the direction. So it is not starting at the level of tools for me.
I think you're absolutely right, because and nobody's talked about this on this channel. So I wonder, in different companies, different employers, like in some employers, the entire like strategy, everything we're doing as a company and where we're going is all communicated very well right throughout the organization. And then in a lot of others, it's just not. And if we're out in the marketplace representing that business, first of all, we might get our talent sourcing approach wrong if we don't understand what's the bigger picture. And then the second thing is we might misunderstand how to answer questions and represent the company in the market. We might be unable to overcome objections, and you've only got one chance to make a good first impression. So if you can't get, you call it in the contact center world, we talk about first call resolution. So if we have to go and find out the answer and then come back to the candidate, another time kills all deals, right? So if it takes 2 days to get back to them, they've probably forgotten who you are.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. So this is why for me the recruiter enablement is a kind of a strategic framework for all of this. So it means that we just talked about that isolated team. So for me, it is the biggest pain point in the whole recruitment, that I would like to make real connections, for example, with the marketing team, with the product development team. So it can help a lot for a sourcing team and a recruiter team as well. And I think that the recruiter enablement can do this. So it means that it is just like a weapon of stories, an armory. So it means that you pick the target and you can choose several methods, tools, approaches. So I think it is really exciting today.
So when a recruiter or talent sourcer is like being onboarded into the company, part of their induction should be, it might not be face to face, but it might be a video recording or something. This is the CEO talking about where the company's going and the mission and the vision. And then I guess where there are updates to that, there's new products or there's new competitive threats, so there's new competitive opportunities, then I guess that's up to the CEO, and if the company's big enough, a comms team, to make sure that the recruiters and the talent sourcers have got what they need. And then that should probably be stored somewhere that's easy to access so that everybody can get there.
just imagine the situation when you have to send out the first messages and you have the opportunity to incorporate all of this information. So for me, it is almost a dream world, but I have tried it for several times. And to be honest, I'm really proud of my response rate. And that was the time when I was able to use that information you mentioned. So from the company, from the product team, from the marketing team, from the upper management. So it is the best.
So you were able to pull together all the information that candidates need so that they were best informed,
Yes, yes,
and they could really perform best in their interviews, and so that they can potentially more better visualize themselves in the
exactly.
organization, and they know their part in the mission.
And it was a really useful tool for me as well to imagine the candidates in the corporation as well. So it means that, and on the other hand, just let's talk about the AI. So now everybody will send out 1,000 messages, even those who were lazy to automate until today. And it means that the noise will be bigger and bigger and bigger. And if you are able to incorporate such a message to your outreach emails, then you will have the competitive edge compared to others. So this is the difference between the volume and between the result for me.
Yeah, yeah, great. Thank you very much for joining me today. Thank you for bringing
Thanks.
to me something that I think is really important. And as I say, I don't think we've really talked about it at all on this channel. So 90 plus interviews with people, and you're the first person to bring this up. But I agree, it's really vital. And so, Alexandra, as I say, thank you very much for taking the time
Thank
to
you
join
very
me.
much. It was a pleasure. Thanks.